Hi, amigas, and happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Cafecito. Okay, you guys, I have so much to share with you guys, and honestly, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for all of the positive feedback that you guys have given me here on YouTube. It means so much to me, you guys, because if you guys have listened to my past episodes, you know that YouTube has always been a dream of mine, and I think it has never worked out in the past because, guys, I have been trying to be a YouTuber since I was like in high school, and it just would never work out. But I think now my purpose for my life is just so much greater, and I feel like with my podcast and like the women that I'm surrounded with, I feel like I have so much to give now, as opposed to like if the universe or God would have handed me like a platform on YouTube before. Does that make sense? And I'm a firm believer in things happen for a reason, and I feel like now my energy is so much different. Like I'm so much wiser. Like I feel like, I don't know, I'm just proud of the woman that I am, you know, for not allowing, I guess, any outside factor to, I don't know, knock me down, for not allowing myself to feed into the negative, and just for being a good fucking person. Like I'm proud of myself, because that's something that I feel like I'm very confident in myself. The fact that I feel, or I am a good person, you know, like I've always tried to be there for a lot of people. I feel like I am a very like honest and humble person, you know, and I'm also a good time, you guys. I'm a good time, so don't get it twisted. Just because I feel like que cada vez que digo que oh, I'm such a good person or whatever, que siempre lo hago, like I don't do anything wrong, because I make mistakes, you guys. I have like my own faults, and everybody does, you know. But I don't know, I'm just proud of myself for never giving up on myself and my dream, and you know, the vision that I've had for myself. And yeah, it's brought me here. So thank you guys so much, and I'm so happy that you guys enjoy my podcast and you guys find value, because you know, that's like literally one thing about me, is that I go through life seeking value. If I'm making a decision, I'm gonna choose what's most valuable for me. When I'm recording content, you guys, I want to make sure there's something that you're learning or something that you're taking away from it, because I feel like that's the only way that we grow as people and we develop as people. So if you guys have listened to my last episodes, you know that I always talk about finding value. And again, I always promise you guys to provide you guys the best quality that I can in the moment, because I know I'm learning, and you know, I'm still trying to figure it out as I go and as I grow as a content creator. But I always promise you guys that I will give you guys the most value and the best quality possible that I can at the moment. Oh my god. Okay, but the news that you guys have all been waiting for, I posted on my story. If you guys do not follow my I didn't post it on my personal account, but I posted it on my podcast Instagram, which is the Daily Cafecito Podcast, and I shared with you guys that I had some crazy news. But I'm kind of ahead of the game now, so I have like back-to-back episodes of my podcast. I mean, I've been filming like 2 ahead, so I'm kind of a little bit ahead of the game right now. So until right now, you guys are gonna hear the news of me getting laid off. Yes, I got laid off, you guys, and I just want to share with you guys the crazy fucking coincidence of the timing of when I got laid off. And just wait, this is why I feel like, oh my god, take everything like it's meant to be this way. Like everything is meant to happen the way it's supposed to happen, you guys. And that's what this episode is going to be about. I'm going to share with you guys why I got laid off, how it happened, and why I feel like it honestly happened at the perfect time. And technically I manifested this, you guys. And again, if you guys have listened to my past episodes, then you have already heard me talk about like me really wanting to take a career change, you know. But it's scary. I understand, like it's so scary getting out of your comfort zone and doing something then like what you envisioned for yourself, you know. And marketing, I feel like, has always been a huge goal. Like that's the reason why I went to school for it. Like, you know, I got a whole bachelor's degree in it. And even though like I got my cosmetology license as well, I always got that as like, for me, the way that I considered my cosmetology license was as a backup, you know. And I ended up really loving it. Like I worked in cosmetology, like I did cosmetology for about like 4 years before getting into marketing. But at the same time, I was going to school full time. So like I always thought that it was just a stepping stone for me to get into marketing, right? And I used to do like freelance social media, and basically, yeah. So I ended up kind of having like a small like love for it, but I didn't feel passionate about marketing, you know. I think the part that I felt passionate was social media. Like, I love social media. I love the way that you can connect with people. I love the way that you can like share your lifestyle and like share a different perspective for people. Like, I just always genuinely have loved social media. So that was my idea with going into marketing. And when I got the job where I was previously at, I was so excited because I started off as a marketing assistant and then I moved up to a social media manager. But the problem was with the company is the company had a lot of faults already, you guys, and no shade or anything to like the owners. But they knew it too. Like, we've had multiple discussions of like, possibly the business going out of business basically. So recently I kind of felt it coming. And it's funny because when I got this job, you guys, or even earlier this year, let's move. I'm going to backtrack. Before I get into it, let me backtrack. Last year, I told myself that I was only going to be at this job for a year because I wanted to do my own social media and I wanted to make my own schedule. I wanted to start my own business. I wanted to do everything on my time and also have a way that like I can inspire and motivate other people, right? Because honestly, I feel like that's my mission in life, is to empower and to help and to, I don't feel fulfilled unless I'm meeting that goal. So in my previous episodes, I had been talking to you guys about how I've just been kind of feeling like a little bit of like a career change coming along because I just wasn't feeling fulfilled at my job. And when I would talk to my boss about it, because my boss was like super open about us like communicating, like, hey, what do you like? What don't you like? And the problem was that with the business or the product that we were selling is that it wasn't doing well with social media, right? I was able to like create kind of like really good engagement with vlogs and like work vlogs and things like that. But the product itself was very hard to take off on social media. And social media was something that it never was like a key factor to how the business made money to begin with. It was always paid media. So they had to spend a lot of money to make the money back. So basically they had no organic reach. So when I came in, it was just me by myself and really trying to build up the social media. And I ended up doing a really good job with getting us engagement, and it just wouldn't convert as good as when they paid to run ads through like Facebook and Instagram. Anyways, so I started to really learn and figure out like what I loved about marketing and what I didn't love about marketing, right? And again, because the company was so reliant on paid media, I started to realize that like that analytical side, not that I wasn't good at it, but it didn't make me feel fulfilled in any way, you guys. It just kind of felt like icky in a way, like I was just selling stuff to people, and I don't know, it didn't like sit right with me. And I'm like, I feel like we're not really doing anything to make a change, make an impact. And I started to really learn that like, to me, that's a really big fucking deal. And this is why in our last video, or my last podcast, we were talking about what makes you a high value woman, like what do you value in life? And to me, that is something that I value so much in life. Like, I have to feel like I'm making an impact or I'm making a difference for me to feel fulfilled. And not everyone is like that, you guys. Even though like I'm also very like, I'm ambitious, I'm very money driven as well, but money driven in a good way to where I feel like fulfilled, because trust me, with you just having money is not enough. Because if you're not doing something that's fulfilling you and you're not doing something that you feel like is making you a better person, the money is only going to last so long. So I had been talking to my husband already, and I'm like, I feel like I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. I'm like, I like the money that I'm making. It's just that like I just don't feel like I'm making a change. Like, I don't feel fulfilled in that way. And I realized that was like something that was super important to me. So in the beginning of the year, I told my husband, I'm like, you know what, by June, like I'm gonna quit my job. Like I literally kept saying by June. And if you ask my best friend, you guys, who we own the marketing agency together, which is actually on hold right now because she's had some like changes in her life, and now so have I. So, but anyways, my best friend, because I would talk to her all the time and I would tell her like how I was feeling about it and stuff like that. And I told her, I'm like, girl, like by June, I have a goal. Like, I want to be out of here and I want to take on my social media like full time. Dude, literally, pregúntale y te va a decir que I literally marked, like word for word, I said, I am going to be out of this job and doing my own social media and my own business full time by June. If you ask my husband, I said the exact same thing. And it's so crazy because your words are so fucking powerful, you guys. Your words are so powerful. And I feel like it was such a huge slap in the face when I got laid off, because I'm like, damn, I manifested this and I made this happen. Like, it made me feel more confident as well, because I'm like, if I could literally manifest this, imagine everything else that I can accomplish and everything else that I can manifest for myself. And it's funny because I had already been building up like the momentum on social media and things like that, like for me to be able to like quit my job. And then yeah, June came around, and I was telling my husband, I'm like, oh, like, I'm just going to, save up a little bit of money, which I had been already saving money, because I'm like, social media is definitely hit or miss, you guys. And it's definitely scary, because you're not going to have that promised income. But I had already set my intention that, like, I was going to work so hard. Like, this is something I love to do. I'm so passionate about empowering and motivating and inspiring other women, that I knew that because I was so passionate about it, the money was going to come regardless. So again, I had already been saving my money and kind of working my way towards like, allowing myself to be able to quit by June. But again, then June came around, and I was just kind of like, let me just wait a couple more months. Like, let me just wait it out, because they were promising certain stuff at work. And this is how they keep you guys. They make you all of these promises that they can't even keep, or don't even know if they can keep, just to keep you. And I was like, okay, I kind of fell into the trap, and I was like, okay, like, fine, I'll just give it like a few more months, and then I'll decide, like, okay, then I'm, when I'm done, I'm done. And it's crazy because earlier in the month of June, they started talking to us about how, like, hey, like, the company is basically going to go, like, out of business by August or September, like, and just letting us know, like, basically, if we decided to stay, because we all got the option, if we decided to stay, we were going to have to work 2 hours every day after work and all this other stuff. But they wanted to force on a salary. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, my content creation means a lot to me. My side business that I have is technically like a part-time job for me now, and I'm much more passionate. And I'm like, I really like started thinking, and I was like, am I gonna throw away, well, dude, why am I getting emotional? Oh my god, I'm such a crybaby. But I was like, am I gonna throw away something that I have worked so hard to build? And I've told you guys, it has taken me years to build up my social media like this. And now that I have this momentum, I'm like, it's either I risk the next 3 months losing all of that momentum just to make a chunk of change at the end of September, or I risk the next 3 months and I bank on myself. Like, I decided that I'm like, fuck the money, dude. I'm gonna do what I am happy, what makes me happy, what I'm passionate about, and what I feel like I'm really good at. And the money is gonna come whenever it decides to come. So that's exactly what I did. I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, but like, you can't ask me to give up my free time, because I make money off of what I'm doing. And I'm like, you're asking me to give up my extra income to give you extra hours without the pay. So I said, absolutely not. So because I didn't want to take that offer, they ended up letting me go. And again, you guys, it was so unintentional, but intentional at the same time. Like, it ended up happening, and it's something that like I manifested on my own unintentionally. But because I kept telling myself, that's exactly what happened. And honestly, it just gave me the boost of fucking confidence. And I was like, if I can make this happen by June, why can't I make everything else that I have envisioned for myself happen? And literally, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was kind of hard, like on Monday, because it didn't hit me over the weekend. It hit me on Monday, and I'm like, damn, like, they were really willing to just let me go because of that, and it kind of hit me, because I'm like, it's scary. Like, it's scary when you decide to bank on yourself, but this is when you just have to fucking remind yourself, like, you got this. Like, this is something you wanted. And it's crazy because I've been in this predicament before, you guys, where I've lost my job, where I decided to choose myself over my job. But the first time that I did it, oh my god, you guys, I was so depressed. I was so upset, and it was super hard for me to like talk about, because it wasn't technically that I really wanted it, but I quit at the way wrong time. And this time when it happened, it just felt like, now I feel like liberated. I feel more creative. Like, I feel like I'm ready to take this bitch on. Like, I am ready to freaking go. And it's just like a relief. It is just a freaking relief, right? And it's funny because the day before that I got laid off, I actually passed my exam to transfer my license to Nevada, which I'm from Vegas, if you guys didn't know. But when oh my god, the shit, that just the way that the universe is laying my path out for me, I'm like, wow, like, this is where I'm meant to be, and this is where I'm meant to be at. And I don't want to say, you guys, or make it seem like my life is so perfect. Like, literally, my path is so perfect, because it has not been whatsoever. I choose sometimes not to share certain things on my podcast, because I want this to be like a positive experience, you guys. Imagine if every time I came on here, all I said were negative things that happened to me, like complained about certain things in my life, like it would not make you feel inspired. And I know that because when I listen to podcasts, like I love to hear the bad, but I also love to hear that there's hope, you know, like there's a way that things do get better. And I actually had a conversation with a friend the other day, because she's going through a really fucking hard time. Like she has just gotten, like, you know, it's just been really, really bad for her. And we were just having a conversation, and I started to tell her, I'm like, girl, like life has threw me down so many times, but I'm like, it's not about that. Like, it's not about holding on to the bad things that life throws at you, or the bad situations or the challenges that life throws at you. It's literally what makes the fucking difference is the way that you react to it and the way that you decide to take it on from there on forward. And I actually had I read a quote. It's funny because I feel like we're kind of like all on the same like wavelength, you know. We just feel like we're struggling with life, like we've been in a funk. You guys, everything is about your response. It's about your response. It's not about what's happening to you, because we can't let ourselves get into that victim mentality, because life hits everyone. Life, literally, you guys, life hits every single person. It may be in different ways, in different formats. At some point or another, some person's life might be harder than the other, but no matter what, life hits you. But it's not about that specific challenge. It's about the way that you react, because you could choose to allow yourself to flow into that victim mentality, or you can choose to move on or take it as a learning experience. You guys, every single situation that you have or you go through in life is just helping you become wiser. And I was telling her, I'm like, girl, because she has like a dream of like herself like writing a book. Like she wants to write a book about life, because she's just had like, you know, she's had a very tough life. And I'm like, can you imagine if these things did not happen to you? I'm like, when it came time for you to write that book, like what would you even put in it if you didn't have to go through all these challenges? Like that would be a boring ass book, you know? Who would you inspire? And I've talked about Vanessa Bryant on here so many times, you guys, but she's a huge inspiration for me, because that's tough. What she had to go through is tough. But I see her Instagram and I know that she lives with like the pain of like losing. Oh my God, it's making me emotional, you guys. But you guys know that's a tough subject for me. But like watching her take on her life, like literally with her head held high, like she's such a strong woman. And I'm like, that's what makes a fucking empowering and inspiring woman, are the way that she decides to react to the shit that life throws at her. I'm like, literally, I can, like, those are the type of women that inspire me, you know, because I've gone through challenges and hardships in my life as well that were super hard for me. And I feel like, honestly, when you meet me, you would never fucking know if I'm going through anything, because not that I decide to hide it, you guys, because I definitely go through my feelings and I allow myself to feel, but I don't allow myself to sit in that victim mentality. I let myself feel the feelings. I go through it. Okay, I feel bad for myself for like 30 minutes, or even if I need a whole day to feel bad for myself, but I don't allow myself to sink into that moment, and I let it go and I move forward, because everything is about the way that you react, you guys. It's not about the challenge itself. It's not about what you're going through, but it's about the way that you react. I feel like I literally just lost my train of thought, you guys. I was going so good, and then I freaking lost my train of thought. But anyways, I was talking to my husband too, and I was telling him, and I'm like, I feel like, you know, it didn't hit me as hard when I got laid off, again, because I knew that like I didn't want to be there forever, and it wasn't something that I wanted to hold on forever. And I think that also helped me make my decision to where I finally was like, you know what, like I'm done, is when they asked me to basically give up my second job for them. And I'm like, okay, remember how we talked about value and making decisions? I looked at both decisions. I'm like, okay, decision one, they're offering me so and so amount of money to stay at the end if the company makes it by September. That's 3 months, right? That's 3 months of me sacrificing my own time that I could be putting into my social media career, my, you know, everything on my own. I'm sacrificing my dream to build up theirs. Or the second option, I decide to bank on myself. I quit. I'm not going to have the stability. I'm going to feel, you know, I'm going to quit before my intended time that I wanted, which technically it wasn't, but I did say that I wanted to be there for a year. And I decide to bank on myself for the next 3 months. I'm like, and not have a steady income. So I'm like, either I work hard the next 3 months to hope that their dream pretty much like goes through since September, or I take the next 3 months to try and work on build my dream. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to bank on myself. And I'm like, I'm going to give myself no excuses. For the next 3 months, I am going to freaking hustle on my personal social media, my podcast, my YouTube channel. Like, I am going to hustle for the next 3 months. And I'm going to bank on myself. And even if it doesn't work out until like at coming September timeframe, I'm not going to give up there, you guys. I have learned that life is too short for you to give up on something, especially if it's something that you want so bad. It's going to happen for you. It's just a matter of time. And you have to believe it, you guys, because if you start to get in that mindset where you're like, nothing's happening for me, it's all about victim. Literally, it's a victim mentality. If you get into that mentality where you feel like things are not going right for you or things are not happening for you, then girl, that shit I feel like will literally send you into a spiral and you'll get stuck there. You will literally get stuck there, and I feel like it's so much harder. The more that you allow yourself to sink into that victim mentality, the harder it is for you to get out. Trust me, because then you start to look at other things differently. Oh, I remembered my train of thought from earlier, you guys. I wanted to share with you guys a quote that I had actually seen, and it said, you know, like when you're going through tough times and life is getting super hard for you, that just means like you're a strong person, you're a powerful person, and you have so much more left in life. And it said, can you, like, thieves do not break into empty homes, which is so true, right? They're going to break into the house that has the most unique things, the most valuable things. And that just made me think that like we are valuable because of the things that we go through in life. And it goes again of being a high value woman. It's like what you value in life and what makes you a strong person. I'm going to go ahead and cut this podcast short, you guys. I'm sorry for the last episode. It literally cut off abruptly because yeah, I'm still figuring out, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this episode short, you guys, because I feel like I can go on and on forever, but I really want to share a lot more with you guys on next week's episode. I just mainly wanted to give you guys an update. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cafecito con Daisy. I'm going to be sharing many more videos now there, you guys. I'm going to be uploading twice a week, actually, on Thursdays, I'm thinking, and Mondays for sure for my podcast. But thank you guys for your true support always, and thank you guys for your DMs. It makes me so emotional, you guys. You guys are such beautiful people, like such beautiful people, and I wish you guys the same success and the same feeling of fulfillment that I feel whenever you guys send me DMs, and you guys truly mean the world to me. With that being said, I want to buy one of you girls a Starbucks. All you have to do is comment on my YouTube video and make sure, or of this episode on YouTube, and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and following me on my Instagrams. And that is it, you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful week and a beautiful Monday. Just remember que nada te detiene, and you are capable of much more than you think. And I will catch you guys on next week's episode. Bye.